For over a decade, Edwards and Cromwell has been helping emergency response teams control leaks in all sorts of hazardous material vessels. Working closely with Louisiana State University, we've led the industry with training and technology to plug leaks quickly and economically. Our series of hazmat leak plugging kits contain a variety of devices that let you temporarily control or contain hairline cracks to major holes on anything from a drum to a rail car. And there's no need to search for tools either. The kits are complete with everything you'll need, from standard or non-sparking hand tools to specially designed wing nut tighteners you can use with bulky hazmat gloves. While our kits are easy to use, repairs should be undertaken only by people who have training and experience in handling hazardous materials. That's why we've produced this videotape, to offer some guidelines for safely and effectively handling a hazmat leak, and to show you the best way to use Edwards and Cromwell leak control products. To us, controlling a leak is a 5-step process: preparation, assessment, patching, decontamination, and restocking. Leaks never occur at the most convenient times, so it's never too early to start your preparation. Your organization should establish response policies and procedures that fit your needs and meet federal and local standards. Then, someone should be designated to take responsibility for an incident response, lead the team, and follow through with the necessary reports. Being prepared also calls for training. A good training program should cover the safe handling of hazardous materials, including a review of different chemicals and their interactions with the neoprene, SBR rubber, and stainless steel used in the Edwards and Cromwell patch kits. It should also cover the decontamination procedures to follow for personnel and equipment after you've responded to an incident. We recommend the training sessions concentrate on hands-on exercises, wearing protective clothing. The more realistic the training, the better your team will be prepared to tackle the toughest leaks with confidence. Another step in being prepared is making sure you have the proper Edwards and Cromwell repair kits on hand and that they're stocked and ready to go at a moment's notice. The first thing to do when you arrive at a spill site is find out what substance is leaking, if it poses a safety hazard, and whether it's compatible with the materials used in your leak control kits. Next, decide if you can handle the problem with the team you have, or if you need additional help. For the safety of others, have someone block out the spill site using the barrier tape from our universal kit, A.E. Finally, make an action plan. Let people know what it is, and implement the plan. The whole point in containment is to slow the leak to a manageable level as safely and as quickly as you can. So, once you've identified the chemical that's leaking, the next step is to protect yourself and your team from that hazard. Then, select the right kit for the situation. Our universal kit, A.E., lets you handle quite a variety of leaks, from pinholes up to an average forklift puncture. The tire plug, for example, plugs leaks or small holes. Be careful you don't push the patch too far into the hole. The hot or cold hose tape can stop leaks whether the surface is wet or not, but you'll get better results if it is dry. Pinhole leaks are best plugged with a screw patch. Tighten the screw just enough to stop the leak. Too tight and you'll only make the hole larger. Lead wool is good for patching hairline cracks. The harder you pack it in, the stronger it gets. But if the wool won't stay in, it means the crack's too wide and you'll have to try something else. Epoxy putty is handy for many small leaks. Follow the instructions on the pack and mix until it turns green. This material sets up fast and it's strong, but like all Edwards and Cromwell patches, it's intended as a temporary patch only. The wood wedges and felt blankets make effective leak stoppers. They swell up when the liquid hits, plugging the hole, so keep them dry until they're needed. Begin with the larger wedges, then push in as many smaller ones as necessary. Be careful not to cut the felt against sharp metal edges. There are an assortment of surface plugs for flat or curved surfaces in our Universal series of kits. They all function in the same way. The taper plugs work best on flat surfaces. And ball plugs are good when the surface is dished in, like this. Slip the toggle through the hole, then while you hold the bolt, slide the ball firmly against the hole and tighten the nut. The T-patches are good for odd-shaped cracks and holes. Slip the T into the hole, then turn it so it straddles the crack. Then tighten down the nut until the leak stops. Our universal kits contain extra pieces of foam and rubber, which come in handy on odd-shaped surfaces. For larger holes, use the twin T-patch, placing the T-bolts as practical. Tighten the nuts until the leak stops. This is where the optional wing nut tightener can make the job easier and less time-consuming. If the chemical you're using is corrosive to the metal T-patch, there's an alternative, our ladder patch kit. You'll need a couple of people to handle the ladder patch, one to hold the patch in place and another to wrap the strap around the vessel. The ladder kit contains extra foam and extra rubber. Use it if you run into irregular surfaces to prevent sparking or protect the straps from sharp edges. The Edwards & Cromwell Series F rollover kit lets you handle the really big problems without having to wrap chains or cables around the vessel. The kit uses the proven T-patch design with a neoprene foam pad and a backup plate made of stainless steel. Assembly is quick and easy. Start by picking the right size T-bolt for the hole to be covered. Then decide which hole in the frame you need to use. That'll depend on the position of the leak and the configuration of the surface it's on. If the leak's of an unusual shape, you may have to use more than one T-bolt. Next, push the T-bolt through the foam side of the neoprene patch and line it up with the backup plate. Make sure the T-bolt feels solid when you're tightening it. If not, use a larger T-bolt. Now you can tighten the other bolts until the leak stops. The trick is not to over-tighten any one bolt, or the patch won't fit tightly over the leak. Leaking pipes present a different set of challenges, and Edwards & Cromwell's C-kits are designed to handle each and every one. An assortment of hard and soft neoprene rubber lets you tackle just about any low-pressure hazmat leak in pipes from ½ an inch to 4 inches. Organization is the key to quick pipe leak repair. Lay all your tools and patching materials out where you can reach them, and make sure the chemical you're working with won't attack the SBR rubber used in these patches. Select the proper size plug for the pipe. Then tighten the nut. Make sure you hold the bolt tight with the vice grips. And don't stand directly in line with the patch. Think of it as a loaded gun barrel. Dangerous pressures in the container can blow the plug out if it's not tight. So tighten the nut at least 5, but not more than 10 turns after the leak stops. To seal the vent tube, flatten the tube, then fold it over and crimp the end to make a final seal. Our C1 kit includes a valve so you can pipe the material off-site or burn it off. In those cases, assemble the valve, then insert the plug and tighten the nut. Again, treat it like a loaded gun and work to one side. When you're ready, close the valve slowly while you monitor the plug to make sure it's seated properly. Then install the pipe-off hose. The kit also contains a stainless wire stand that lets you use the burn-off tube as a flare. If you run across a leak from a cracked pipe, the C2 external pipe patch kit can help. It's designed to control leaks in pipes from ½ inch to 4 inches diameter, in such systems as fuel and chemical transfer, sewer, water, and air. There's extra foam and rubber, too, if you need it. It's a good feeling to know you've controlled a hazardous material leak, but the job's not done until you've decontaminated yourself and your tools. Your organization should have the proper equipment so you can follow the decontamination procedures for the chemical you've dealt with. Finally, Restock your kits by replacing any products that were used and checking that your tools are in good condition. With your equipment checked and restocked, you'll be ready and prepared for the next emergency. We can't stress too heavily the need for preparation and training. Understand chemical interaction, know the right procedures for handling hazardous materials and decontaminating yourself and your equipment, and practice using the leak patching kits while wearing protective clothing. Share what you learned during the last incident. Talk about the problems you ran into and how you solved them. Ask yourself what other tools and materials you should have had, then be ready for the next incident. One way is to carry Edward and Cromwell basic kits and add upgrade kits as your experience indicates. If you're not sure which kits might be best for you, or if you have any technical questions, give our consultants a call. Remember the name, Edwards and Cromwell. We're the leaders in hazardous material leak control.